All right. Moin, everyone.
Which is good morning, as we say it in Hamburg. Good to have you all here at the It's Future startup area. Annabelle, good morning. How do you feel?
I'm feeling really good. Thanks, Johannes. I'm so glad to see that it's all coming together now, what we've been working on for the last 2 years, together with our partner hub, the Digital Hub Mobility in Munich. And Johannes, why don't you tell us what this is all about?
Well, my pleasure. We started organizing this, as Annabelle said, 1.5 years ago. And this is the first day of actually a 3-day program, which will have a great climax on Thursday evening, which we will tell you later on a little bit more about. And it starts under the motto, connect, innovate, and grow. Because with this biggest startup area ever at an ITS World Congress, ERTICO invites all the innovators, all the young startups, all the people that have great product, process, and business model ideas in mobility to connect throughout the next day, to connect with the ITS grown-up community, to network, to play around with ideas, and to tell us about their ideas, because we're going to have a hell lot of pitching going on, and 45 startups from 18 countries that have been carefully selected over the last month, coming, of course, from Germany, but from France, from Spain, from Japan, from Canada, from Brazil. They will all be here to tell you their mobility idea, their mobility story, and how this is going to look in detail. Annabelle, I think that's your job to tell us.
Exactly. So we will start with our pitch sessions today. Right after this opening ceremony, we will have the first pitch session with 12 international startups. In total, there will be 43 startups pitching from 18 different countries throughout this week. Then during the afternoon, we will have kind of a speed dating with startups. You're all invited to come, and we will make sure that you will find your match made in heaven, or maybe you'll just say friends, we'll see, but we will help you find whoever you're looking for. Then in the evening, we will have a pitch session with the EIT Urban Mobility, because we thought, well, 43 startups isn't quite enough, we will add 12 more. And so we invited the EIT to come here and hold their pitch session as well. Tomorrow we'll start with a panel discussion by ERTICO, followed by 2 more pitch sessions. And then on Thursday we have the final pitch session and also the ITS Future Champion Contest, which means that the startups that are winning the pitch sessions today on Wednesday, Thursday morning, they will then compete again on Thursday, and the winner will take home a wonderful prize. And last but not least, on Thursday evening, we will have the ITS Future Startup Party at Reeperbahn at Mojo Club. I hope you'll all join. It's not just for startups, you're all invited. And this is kind of the unofficial highlight of the entire week, so make sure you get your ticket. But of course, all of that is not possible without the help of a lot of people, and I think one of them is here today, and we would like to thank him. Johannes.
There are actually 3 people that we have to thank, not only one. And as we're standing here and we have all these spotlights on us, starting to sweat even a little bit because it's so warm, it feels, again, unreal. Somebody earlier said to me, it feels even a little bit like the Truman Show after 1.5 years, but it is real, and it couldn't be real without the support, the continuous support of 3 gentlemen and their teams, of course. And we would like to give the floor to these 3 gentlemen, starting with the city of Hamburg and our Senator for Economic Affairs and Innovation. Michael Westhagemann and his team has been continuously supporting the idea of bringing all of this to life. So, Michael, jump on stage. There's a microphone, and share a few words with us how you feel seeing all this.
Yeah, Johannes, thank you very much. I would say you hear a little bit my voice. It's not in good condition, so I will make it very short. I'm really happy to have you here today, and hopefully the whole time. And then hopefully you had yesterday evening also a nice evening. We have nice places here in Hamburg. also nice restaurants. We say every time, Hamburg is, I would say, the best city in Germany, especially here in Hamburg. But also what I know, and that is a part of Johannes, to bring all the startups together. And I'm really happy to have more than 45 startups here around this morning. And it's so important to drive innovation. And we have also some startups. They call it not more startups, they're a little bit bigger. Sebastian, you were starting a couple of years ago, 8 years ago, but today he has a good level in the area of business. And that is what I believe. We have to connect the people. That was what Sebastian said, Johannes, what you say, and that is important. And you must have, and that is, I think, important for Hamburg, you must have this spirit for innovation. And in which area we can have it here in Hamburg? We have it, of course, of the mobility side. We have it on the logistics side. Yeah, we have it on different sides here in Hamburg. We have the right field for everybody. And one part is also logistic, why logistic is so important for Hamburg. We have the biggest harbor in Germany that everybody has to know every day. 250,000 trucks drive around our streets, and every day 70,000 trucks come in and go out from our harbor. And the question is how we will do it in the future. And that means also for, of course, for the vessels, for aircraft, for everything. I think that is a good field, what we can offer to you. And then I have one point in my very long speech. Hopefully they are around. I saw here, I have 2 startups. They were the winner. There was a winner of the Future Hamburg Award. And hopefully these 2 startups here today, that is on the one hand side, Breeze Technology. Is Breeze Technology today here?
They are hiding behind the corner in their...
Maybe behind the corner. And then Infinite from Norway. Infinite Mobility from Norway, also here. But give them a warm welcome. Yeah. So, Johannes will say, make it short. I have it done. I see it here. And I wish you all together a nice time here in Hamburg. And hopefully you have a good, what we say in Hamburg, a good condition, while the evenings sometimes are really, really good here in Hamburg. You have to know this. And my last statement is, the weather in Hamburg is every time beautiful. So what we see this morning, it was yesterday, and if it is raining, doesn't matter. You have to feel you're free. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael, for these opening words. It's my personally 3rd ITS World Congress. I attended the Congress in Copenhagen 3 years ago and was really amazed by the work that the startup crew did there. So we learned from and with the best, I have to say. There's also a gentleman, Tobias, who we have to thank. Jakob Bangsgaard, I can't say that I wasn't a little bit disappointed not to see too many startups in Singapore. And therefore, I'm even more happy today to welcome you on this stage, because I think the effort that ERTICO has done to bring so many startups to an ITS World Congress, as I said, and I really don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but it is the biggest startup area at an ITS Congress ever. And that's to very great extent, Jakob, thank you to you and your team at ERTICO. So welcome to Hamburg and welcome to the startup stage.
Thank you very much, and good morning everyone, also from ERTICO side. I also have to thank Hamburg for organizing this, Tobias and everybody else who's been involved in making this possible, because this is really what we wanted to see, and this is what will even be bigger in the future in the ITS congresses. I was a bit naive when I, some years back, said we need to do more with the startups. I thought that we had some incredible knowledge that the startups could use, and therefore we needed to do them this favor of bringing them on board on this journey of making mobility smarter, cleaner and safer in the future. Then I learned, of course, very quickly that it was actually us who could learn a lot from the startup community. And when we then saw the disruption of the mobility sector, when we saw all the new players moving in, we found out that we were actually the slow ones. We were actually the ones who had to learn to be more agile, who had to learn to connect to the innovation and to develop the future together with the innovators. So that is why we started our startup program in ERTICO, and our last winner of our startup initiative is actually here, Brighter AI. I don't know if they have a stand there behind. They're not sitting here. But congratulations, Brighter AI. And let's give them an applause. We wanted to invite them to our startup event in Lisbon. Unfortunately, the ITS Congress in Lisbon was postponed till 23, and therefore we had the opportunity to invite them to Hamburg. So what are we going to do in the future to connect, innovate and grow? We are going to continue our effort to bring the startup community closer to our ERTICO partners. And this, unfortunately, we have been put on hold for a period, but we are going full speed after when we are allowed to open up fully again. And last but not least, we are also going to provide some awards on Thursday, so you can look forward to that, those of you who are going to win these pitches. So continue to be in contact with us. You will see in the future for the ITS congresses, we will grow also in the startup community at the Congress. And we welcome you to contact us and to be part of the innovation together with us and grow together with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jakob, and thank you very much, ERTICO. As most people of you know and can see, if you work in the startup environment, it's common sense or a good tone to wear sneakers, put a hoodie on, and don't show up here in a suit. I learned that almost 3 years ago when a bunch of people from Hanover, a beautiful city a little bit south of Hamburg, came to the hub and said, well, you have a nice digital hub here. We want to start a world record during the Hafengeburtstag, the port's birthday. And these guys were also wearing sneakers, having a little bit longer hair. And I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And at the end, they actually brought some people from the Guinness World Record book over to our digital hub and managed to get this world record. That's 2.5 years ago, where they established the world record in collaborative routing. They are still around, and now all the 43 startups listen up. They've come a long way since, and they don't consider themselves a startup any longer, but they are still having their roots in our community and wanted to give back something to what started in Hanover and Hamburg a few years ago. So that's why I'm very happy also to see that he's still wearing sneakers. He hasn't grown up too much. Sebastian, the founder and CEO of Grassmasters, join me on the stage.
Thank you very much, Johannes.
Sebastian, and this has to be followed by a second applause. All of this would not have been possible if your colleagues, if Alexander and his team would not be continuously behind us saying, hey, we're gonna do this in Hamburg, we're gonna have the physical event. So everything that you see here is not just things for a good algorithm that connects cars, but to your team, to Graphmasters. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And maybe you tell us a little bit about what brought you here and where you'll go.
All right. So thanks you again. Like Graphmasters is now for years with Johannes and his digital hub, and we're very proud also. Like, thank you too, that you have us all the time. Graphmasters is probably one stage further from the very first startup seed funding things, probably something that you would more call a grown up. And for quite a while, we seriously considered to being more on the other halls and having a huge booth and actually a quite huge exhibition with lots of stuff. But at the very end, we definitely decided to get it again with Johannes and the startups to be more in this vibe. Like I founded the company, and you know, who of you are who is a startupper here in the audience? Just raise your hands, please. All right, startup. So let me tell you something from my perspective, right? It's very important. Well, it's so impressive if you really meet people that really stick to an idea, and there's nothing more impressing things if people really want and see the things happening. Seeing people that really do and make things happening is more valuable, and you learn more and you create more value than you would ever expect, even if your ideas are completely lame, completely weird, or the most fantastic things you could ever imagine. It's always worth doing, because doing is the thing, and not sitting on the white table, round table, and just discussing and coming up with the idea why things are not working, which we often see in other contexts. So remember, like, these super stories done by what? Google. How many people created Google, the very first steps? Like, these were 2 people. Like Facebook was being done by what? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 people. Like the SAP has been done by 3 people. These super tiny teams are doing the huge lever and doing the huge things in the very first steps. The bigger you get, the more intense it becomes to move at all. So stick to your ideas and be brave, be proud of really hammering your idea through the people. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. We look forward to see you on Thursday evening and are grateful to have you here. Now, I have to look in that direction because there's a camera. I totally forgot to say hello, world. Hello, ITS viewers. Because after this 1.5 years, we wouldn't do a good job if we wouldn't go hybrid, right? So hello, everybody. You can watch this whole startup area not 24/7, but whenever there's something happening in the program, also digitally. Now, I'm looking for my souffleuse, Annabelle. We've decided to try something completely new after 1.5 years. What could that be? I tell you, we let startups pitch. We've heard so many online pitches, we attended so many webinars that we thought maybe at the end of 2019, pitching again. But now we're fired up for the next 3 days to have startups galore from all kinds of mobility areas, from all kinds of countries, in all kinds of stages for you to sit and relax, get a free drink at our food and beverages truck just around the corner, and enjoy every day a couple of hours of innovative ideas being presented to you. You are the expert audience here. Nonetheless, we need, of course, in order to build up the competition a little bit, we need a qualified jury to observe all these startup pitches. And therefore, I would now like to welcome the jury, Simon and his crew. Simon coming from our Digital Hub Mobility in Munich. Give him a warm applause.
So thanks a lot for being here. It was a great project together the last 2 years. Happy to be here and happy to be at a physical event and not at an online session.
And we said moin, and you should probably say servus?
Servus.
Yeah, okay. Well done. Simon, I leave it up to you to introduce the jury, and then I'll take over again.
Great. So we have Westhagemann from ERTICO, our great partner here at the ITS World Congress, and also Shambo Nakbal from the Funke Media Group, who will conduct the 2 minutes Q&A session and who will be great evaluators of the pitch session. So, Shambo, please, and also Rolf to my left side. And take care that you do not fall down from the stage. And I guess now I would like to hand over to you to announce the first startup.
I would love to do that. Nonetheless, could you say a few sentences about what you will be looking for at these startups and how you are going to judge them? So, just by look and feel, or?
No. We have, of course, 3 very objective criteria. So first of all, the relevance of the solution the startup provides. Does the startup provide a solution to tackle sustainability challenges? That's the first criteria, and every team gets in maximum 3 points in this category. And a further category is not only an interesting solution, but also is the team capable to tackle the solution, so meaning the capability. And the third criteria is the wow effect. Is the startup able to impress us and the rest of the world and convince us with their solution? And since we are obviously unable to cover all relevant criteria, there is a 4th category, namely the bonus point, where our jury members can give 1 extra point to bring the startup in the final session.
Well, ready, set, go then. Be careful with your chairs. I hope you can see through this jungle of plants. My colleagues told, bring more plants, bring more green to the stage. Well, there you go. You are set with drinks, and I hope our first startup is also set with AVES technology. Give them a round of applause. I'll hand you the microphone after saying that you got 3 minutes, and the clicker is handed to you by...
The time will run when you start.
Okay, so good to have you here. Enough said. First, but not the last. Go ahead.
So thanks a lot. I'm also on the servus side. Coming from south of Germany, and I'm presenting AVES Reality, and what we do is we turn real roads into virtual test tracks. So here you see a real road, and here you see what is our virtual test track. And the problem that we address is that when you talk about autonomous mobility, many people need to go to simulation tools to develop these vehicles because of cost reasons and time reasons. But these simulation tools have 2 problems, which on the one hand side is that you need map data, you need a map where you drive in, and these data needs to be accurate and it needs to be collected. And with the traditional approach, this takes a lot of time. And on the other hand side, we see a problem in 3D visualization, that if you want to test camera, you need state-of-the-art graphic visualization, and you need, with the state-of-the-art processes, a lot of manual work to build up 3D worlds. So what we do is we developed an approach to rapidly generate 3D worlds by combining geospatial information, which is globally available, and a technique that comes from the game industry, meaning that we offer these 3D virtual world twins that come out of our satellite and geodata fusion model, and then offer them as virtual test tracks to be implemented in simulation frameworks. But there's one question that of course remains: what about the manual modeling part? How do we get rid of that? This is where our magic comes in. So on top of the satellite and geodata fusion model, we put our AI stack, extract further information, and then we developed an own software tool which automatically generates these worlds that we offer within few minutes. So the whole process, from choosing the area you want to drive, in having to drive or being able to drive this area, takes few minutes, and this is all our 100% in-house IP. So this is a brief impression what this looks like. Talking about the wow effect, this is generated within 1.5 minutes. Photorealistic, part of the German state Autobahn near Lindau. Talking about our vision, we want to move from generating highways and roads towards cities, and then at the end of the day, generating a digital twin of the whole planet, basically. And talking about business opportunities, at the beginning we offer a data product, and then we go towards scalable software products. The market is B2B market, automotive simulation, which is rather big and has the advantage of having customers in Germany as well. Competition is quite rare. We are the only ones using AI here. And what we've achieved so far is we have a POC, we got funding by German government, and we grown our team to 3 members. We're currently looking for pilots and then further funding for the next years. And talking about capabilities, our team already covers the technology side with 2 people and me covering the business side, plus several advisors from research and science. And that's it. That's 3 minutes plus 5 seconds. Thanks a lot.
So thanks a lot, Florian, for the impressive speech. So there are a lot of decision makers and important people here. So maybe you can describe how the people can help you with your next steps. So what are your next steps in your journey?
So basically, as you've seen here, there's 2 next steps. One is if you are from industry, if you are interested in simulating, we're looking for pilot partners for collaborative development projects. And then, of course, if you may be an investor or like to start to be an investor, we're looking for funding, which keeps us funded after 2022.
So, my dear jury colleagues.
No. All right, thank you for the presentation. My question is, when people talk about AI, it's actually based on a lot of data. So my question would be, where do you have this data from so you have a difference from your competitors?
Yeah, exactly. We're using this data fusion model that we developed, and we can basically put in different data layers here. You'll see there's satellite images, there's terrain models, and so on. So at the one hand side, we are working with the open data, which is available currently, and then we're strongly working on collaborations to put in more and more data sources here, because the advantage is that this is an open architecture, so we can basically put in every data format that the customer wishes and that is available for us. So we're working on partnerships here.
Perfect, thank you.
So, are there any further questions from my jury colleagues? I guess no. So the time is almost over for the Q&A session, and now I would thank you again for the interesting speech and give the word to the moderator, Johannes, again. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
So the first one is done, and I think he did very, very well. Somebody just said to me, well, you managed to bring a lot of plans on the stage, and you also managed to bring a lot of male participants to the stage, which is true, of course, but I can assure you, whenever you come by the pitching area throughout the next 2 days, this will not be the normal scene. We have many, many interesting ladies telling us about their innovative ideas. My colleagues Annabelle and Eileen will take my role throughout the next 3 days as well. So not only plans, not only male, but also female ITS community being up on stage here. So the next startup is a startup that we at the Digital Hub also follow over the last years already. They have made impressive steps forward, and I welcome Ducktrain.
Hello.
Mark, the next 3 minutes are yours.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, let's start. Please think how you get to the last parcel. First of all, I want to show you 3 facts about the last mile delivery. The segment of urban delivery is growing very fast. You saw like COVID was a quite big booster, so until 2030 there will be a growth of 250%. Fact number 2 is, like, the last mile is very expensive. More than 50% of the total logistics costs are created in the mid-mile and in the last mile. And the third fact, the urban road structure and the government and the society want environmentally friendly solutions for this part of delivery. So how is it done now? Most of the time with vans, but they are parking in the second row and they are stuck in the traffic most of the time. On the other hand, there are like sustainable solutions like cargo bikes, but they have a low payload and you need micro hubs for them because they have this low payload. Our solution is to combine the benefits of the cargo bike having a low footprint and being lean with the benefits of the van, carrying a lot of volume. So we even invented Ducktrain. One of our vehicles is called Ducks, and with combining up to 5 of this duck, we can have a Ducktrain who's carrying the load from the logistic hub outside of the city into the city center. Into the city center, we can deliver a door-to-door delivery with a postman or a postwoman, or let the duck stand there as a mobile locker box. We have a product roadmap by step. At the moment, we have since March the trailer duck. Next year, we will write the Follow Me duck, and 24 we will release the Auto duck. We have a strong team with a strong background of vehicle development and automotive software development. We have around 24 people in our team, and most of them are students, like 14 student workers at the moment. And at the moment, since March, like I said, we are testing our prototype in Aachen, and from tomorrow on, you can see us on the demo area in V2. Thank you.
So, thanks a lot for your speech. So my first question is, why do you follow the approach with I would say it mother duck, so a bicycle driver in the front? So when do you see the possibility to run the train without someone in front riding, and what are the reasons for going this path?
The reason is like in the parcel delivery, when you imagine like old people, they are not able to carry a 30-kilogram parcel from when they live in the 3rd floor. They don't want to go down and get the package from an autonomous packing station and left this by their own. So there is most of the time a need of a person who is carrying the parcels, and like we do for the people who don't need someone like who's carrying their parcel to their door, there's like a locker box who is mobile, so you can get your parcel by your own.
Okay, so to have both the intelligence for driving and also a face to the customer.
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot.
To be more convenient for the customers. Yeah.
Super. My dear jury colleagues, do you have a question?
Is there a limit to what you can deliver? Like,
can you repeat it?
Is there a limit to what you can deliver, like size, weight?
Yeah, like we have one duck can carry to 300 kilogram and a volume of 2 cubic meters. So when you imagine 5 of them, that's 10 cubic meters and around 1,500 kilograms.
Thank you.
I also got a question. So what is the speed of the Ducktrain or the Ducktrain?
So like you see, it follows a cargo bike, or it can follow a person, so it depends. When you follow a bicycle, it's like 25 kilometers per hour. If you follow a pedestrian, it's 6 kilometers per hour.
Perfect, thank you.
Good, Mark. Thanks a lot for the interesting speech. And now I would like to give over the word to Johannes. Applause.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Mark. I saw an interesting documentary on the weekend about a Norwegian designer designing autonomous ferries that travel around in the Norwegian fjords and the port of Oslo. But there's a startup from Norway that is also designing other cool stuff, such cool stuff that they were actually the winner of the Hamburg Future Award earlier this year. And Infinite Mobility has the next 3 minutes to show us what they're doing. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. Okay, here comes the sun. We're a Norwegian manufacturer for lightweight solar electric tricycles. In 1950, the average weight of a vehicle was 500 kilograms, and it consumed 4.5 liter in 100 kilometer. In 2020, the average weight is 1.2 ton, and it consumes 5.5 liter per 100 kilometer. So the key here is weight. So what we designed is lightweight, 400 kilogram, 3 meter by 1.5 meter long. The maximum speed is 45 kilometers, so it's for urban mobility, and it's mainly for Southeast Asia, our customers. We fit it with a swap battery system, 10 kilowatt. The range is 250 kilometer to 280 kilometer. And only from the sun, you get 30 to 40 kilometer boost. And the price of the vehicle will be 10,000 euro. So some of you might ask, how are we going to compete with established auto manufacturers? We have 3 competitive advantages. The first is with our distribution strategy, which is a micro factory. And how do we do that? Is combining 2 things. Franchise from McDonald's. Oops, something went wrong. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, franchise from McDonald's and out-of-the-box solution from IKEA. So we will distribute our distribution will be through micro factories, franchises. And then we also have a swap battery system, which is other companies are not, let's say, prepared for this. And also the solar PV, that's something that's going to come in the future. I think in 5 years, a lot of vehicles would be on solar. We're a team of 11, multicultural with strong background education and business experience. The CEO is Moise with PhD. Myself, CEO and CEO with a master in supply chain management. And then we have 3 other chief marketing officer with master degree as well, business development manager, and innovation manager. Plus, we have 6 technicians. Achievement so far, we're one of the 3 winners of the Hamburg Award. We have already set up a small workshop for prototyping. We have a pre-order and letter of intent for 500 units. 90% progress on the prototype. When it comes to our incubators, we are a member of the Plug and Play.
You have to come to an end, please.
All right, sure, yeah. I'll just jump quickly. One of our partnership is Fontana Group, which produces aluminum body parts for Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Rolls-Royce. I will jump to this quickly. So what we're asking for is 1.5 million seed funding to produce the 500 units for our pre-orders. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks a lot.
Thanks.
So you started with the problem that the cars get heavier and heavier, and people obviously like to buy, for instance, heavy cars, SUVs. How would you convince someone who tends to buy an SUV to buy your vehicle?
Yes, our vehicle is a 3-seater, so it may not fit them, and it's mainly for urban mobility. For Europe, most people like, when we did the market survey, most people like 4-wheelers, which is for us, it's coming in the future, in 2 years, but we will enter the market with the 3-wheelers because it's still hidden market. Yeah.
Thank you. My jury members?
So my question would be, you have 500 orders. Who ordered them?
Sorry?
You have already 500 orders.
500 orders, yeah.
Who is the one who ordered them?
Most of them are from India and the Philippines, and some from Turkey. So most of them are end customers.
Private entities or end customers?
End customers and 3 different companies.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I do not have any further questions. So
right.
Thanks a lot for the
you.
interesting speech, the interesting product. And
Yes.
yeah, please applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lupi.
Thanks.
I decided to play a little bit the bouncer here at the stage and announce who's going to come next. That was the alarm, okay. So over the last 18 months, I think there have been quite a number of delivery startups popping out everywhere. So therefore, we are happy to have one startup with us that at least has the name delivery in its name, Future Delivery. Andreas, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Can I start? In our view, drones are the future of logistics. They can be automated, they can be quick, they can be cost effective. But most importantly, they are able to fly from an out of storage. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. But most importantly, they can achieve delivery times in urban areas below 1 hour. They can allow companies to differentiate themselves through logistics, something that hasn't happened in a long time. But there is an issue. Currently, there is no drone capable of flying from an out-of-city storage facility to your doorstep and back. The 2 main types of drones have their limitations, and the hybrid models are unable to excel in any criteria. In today's logistics world, you use different types of transportation to leverage the individual strength of each type. We want to do the same thing with drones. We want to be able to use the strength of the different drone types for the ultimate logistics solution. We want to leverage the long range and high carrying capabilities of a fixed wing and combine them with the ability of a multi-copter to land at your doorstep. We want to enable exchanging packages between drones in flight, saving time and energy. This allows us to deliver packages long range to your doorstep. This allows us to deliver goods to you or your customers and at the same time pick up their returns. Just imagine a car plant needing a replacement part from an offsite facility. You can get the parts quickly and return the broken part back to the vendor without being constrained by traffic. A true revolution within logistics. And this is only one of the many applications of our technology. We make this possible by developing an innovative coupling mechanism to connect the best things of those 2 drone types. For our next step, we are seeking your support. Before we go further and dive into building a prototype, we want to gain feedback for our product, from the markets, from potential customers. We are looking for partners that might be interested in a pilot project once we finish a prototype. We're looking for just your feedback, for your input. This would help us out. If you want to help us out, give us some time, either to dive a bit deeper into our technology, either at our booth, or via this QR code here, you can give us feedback via a form. For more information, visit our website. If you have some time, please go ahead, give us feedback, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Any feedback matters to us. Thank you very much. With that, I will hand over to the jury.
So thanks a lot. So if I got it right, you want to change or to transfer the parcel from one flying object to another in flight?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you already try something comparable to that? So I can imagine that it is quite complicated.
Well, it's also quite costly.
Yeah.
So far it's only like we only done like the theoretical analysis and simulations for it, because building this and getting everything set up takes quite some time. So far it's only been done in theory, but the next steps will be in the hopefully the physical object.
Do you have a roadmap when this proof of concept will take place?
Probably next year.
Next year.
But it depends on if someone says, hey, I want to invest, then obviously it can go quicker.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I was also asking where you are currently, what the status is of your ID and how you can...
Yeah, so we did like theoretical analysis, theoretical simulation, and that's done now. And now we'll be looking after the fair to build a prototype.
Thank you.
I guess I answered the questions too quickly because right now it seems like we still have a minute time, so...
Yeah, maybe I have a further question. Are you in contact already with some possible customers? So who is your target market?
Well, that's kind of the question, because usually normal startups test your product early and quickly, right? Which is kind of hard because the technology is still like quite far out. So far we haven't had the chance yet. But if you think this product might fit for your industry or doesn't fit for your industry, please come up to us, tell us this, so we get more information about where it's applicable.
Yeah, maybe one good idea is to talk to people in the field of drone defense. So if you can catch a parcel in the air, you can also catch another drone. Yeah.
Yes, that's the idea. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for the interesting speech, for the very interesting impressions. And
thank you.
Applause, please.
Thank you, Andreas, for this interesting presentation. Jury, all good? Still going strong? Very good. I hope everybody of you as well, because mobility and logistics, it's not just only cars, planes, ships, bicycles, it's a hell lot of stuff. Different modes of transport, different modes of mobility and logistics. So why not welcome Michelle to the stage with her startup Modility. Not mobility, Modility. Michelle, the next 3 minutes are yours.
So that's very important, modility. 30. What do you think about when you hear this number? My name is Michelle. I'm sales manager at Modility, and what I think about when I hear this number is the expected growth of transported goods until 2030, within 10 years. Quite an impressive number, isn't it? And it becomes sort of threatening when you take a look at these pictures of rising pollution or more congestion on the road. So it's pretty clear and it's inevitable that we need alternatives to road transport, also to contribute to the climate goals. Good news up front, there are alternatives. The modal shift. More freight must be transported by rail, or even better, by intermodal transport, by the combination of rail and road. Surprisingly, even though there is this alternative, it's still used too little yet. And at Modility, we found out that this is due to the fact that supply and demand do not match efficiently. They do not find together. This is due to a lack of transparency of an overview of rail connections or the complexity of booking an intermodal transport. And also because there's too little digital solutions. Until now, the solution is Modility. Modility as a matchmaker for supply and demand. We are a digital marketplace for the intermodal transport. And we offer a quick overview of rail connections for the freight forwarder with a direct booking option with prices and capacities. For the operator, it's a new sales channel for his rail capacities. And all in all, it's very intuitive and easy to use. Let's get more specific. How does Modility work? I'll give you an example. A freight forwarder has a transport need from Hamburg to Augsburg in the south of Germany. So instead of calling all the operators asking for capacities and prices, he simply visits Modility and enters the start, destination, and the date. And in the next step, he will find a suitable transport. That's it. We are convinced at Modility, and the market shows great interest. Since our launch in March of this year, we have a great network to offer, and I'll be happy to invite you to our stand to boost the modal shift together. Thank you very much.
So thanks a lot. Do you see any obstacles from a regulatory side to let your market grow, to let your company grow?
Currently, I wouldn't see regulatory obstacles. It's more the mindset that has to change. That the supply chain is more thought of, really changing into this modal shift of, maybe risking to transport via rail instead of road, because the road is always said to be very fast, very flexible, but a lot of people just don't know enough about possible rail options, and that's what we want to do.
Okay, and are there any further infrastructural needs to bring more goods on trains in the future?
Possibly, but at Modility at this moment we see that we have quite the great infrastructure to offer already after 6 months. Okay. So we don't really fear this issue, it's more the mindset and the mental shift that we are working on.
Okay, so thank you.
Great presentation. You are mentioning that there is a lot of capacity not being used. What kind of numbers are you looking for? So what is your market?
Good question. Yes, our market are mainly freight forwarders and rail operators. So, in practice, a rail operator or a freight forwarder would register at Modility, and the freight forwarder can book right away with one click, and the rail operator would upload their schedule for their rail connections, and that's it. So at this moment, we're looking at these two target groups, and in the future, we are also thinking about the industry, because we learned that the industry is very interested in this modal shift. And so we're talking a lot, networking, so looking forward to that.
So thanks a lot, and great applause for the great speech.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Michel, thank you very much. I personally have a background in designing hardware security systems. I think the next startup coming up on stage is not going totally into that direction, but the name may suggest that. Heinz, SecureSystem. Oh, you're bringing some hardware along. Okay, I was wrong and surprised, positively surprised. So tell us in the next 3 minutes what you guys are up to.
Yes, I will. That's for you guys, you can actually touch something. So my name is Heinz, hello everybody, and I have to look for the clicker, and I want to talk today about the state of the global supply chain. So, supply chains are getting more and more complex. They're also getting more and more vulnerable. We still have the pictures in mind of the Ever Given being stuck in the Suez Canal, of COVID. We still see the consequences today. What we don't see so much are the consequences on the risk side. So the risk of theft and compromised cargo is rising globally, but also here in the middle of Europe. So the good thing is there's a solution to this. There's a solution that's called in-transit visibility. Okay. There's a solution that's called cargo integrity monitoring in real time anywhere in the world. And basically we turn with this solution any shipping container into a smart and connected asset. Now, how does it work? Yeah, that's us. So how does it work? This device that the judges have over there, that's here on our show container, it slaps on the left side door of the container, and it does all the monitoring that you would expect, conditions, temperature, and so on, but it also monitors the integrity of the container. What I mean is, it monitors if somebody's opening the container and who is opening the container. So we could, for example, identify the person and match the transfer of risk to a blockchain or kind of things. But the important thing, we're not a hardware company. It's about the data that is generated there. It's a unique data set that is generated, and that's ending up on a data platform where we make use of it, and I'm going to show you how we make use of it. So this is a transport we monitored from the US East Coast to the West Coast and then off to Asia. There's lots of things to see here, but I want to talk about just one, and that's the red dot up here in Chicago, and that's where the container was breached. That means somebody either opened the door without authorization, or somebody just cut a hole in the side. And what happens then is, well, first, you can't change it, right? It happened, but the thing is, you know about it in real time. You don't know about it when the seal is broken and you see it 6 weeks later in Asia. You can act about it in real time. And in this case, the customer was the US government, so they actually sent somebody there to inspect the container and then decided to send it on. But even if you don't have these capabilities, you could inform your insurance company right away, or you could start the reordering of the goods so that your end customer doesn't have a 6 weeks delay, just a week or two delay. The data on this platform, as I said, works in a variety of cases. There's this immediate level where you can react to things happening to each and every individual container, but there's also on an aggregated level lots of things you could do. The one I like personally a lot is the inventory management. So you think about a production environment with just-in-time production. These guys have huge in-transit inventory, and they don't really know when it's reaching the destination. The other thing is, of course, if you have a data set that is aggregated, you could do risk assessments for routes. There's lots of different things. At the end, it comes down to a higher level of customer satisfaction of our customers, and that makes us our customers happy.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Perfectly on time. So I have two questions. The first is, how do you maintain a connection all the time when the ship, for instance, is 1,000 kilometers away from the shore? Is it via Starlink or anything? And the second question is, what is the business model?
Yeah, so the connection is a Iridium satellite connection. So we do have mobile phone connectivity in there, but it's just basically always a fallback that the Iridium connection is there and always has a satellite uplink. So we don't need any infrastructure. That's the good thing. And the business model is basically a subscription model. As the cargo owner, usually you are our customer. You rent this for a couple of months or years, and you put it onto your critical freight. And we have, for example, an automotive company. They are doing this on their highway route between Europe and the US. Highway in terms of many, many containers. And they slap it onto containers with engines and other high-value parts, so they know exactly when it's coming. And we had cases that the container didn't make it on the ship. The shipping company told them about a week after it happened, and we tell them immediately. So that's their biggest benefit from it.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right. I will make it quick because time is running. Nice presentation. I really like the concept. My main concern is, how do you work with authorities? So, for example, you have a ship coming from Colombia with probably some drugs in it. Police wants to seize it or have a look into it. How can they access this container when it's locked?
The good thing is we do not physically lock the container, so you can always open it up. Just like this, so it's not physically locking anything. So customs can always open it up. We usually generate a customs code that you can enter in there, and then the customs guys can identify themselves. And I was myself surprised, but more and more customs organizations are actually doing this because they also have an interest in the data coming out of the devices.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks a lot, and applause please for Heinz.
Heinz, thank you very much. I see that you're all still up and interested to see some more startups, which will follow in a few minutes. Just a quick note from my side. I think the whole COVID situation is not the largest health threat this week here at the ITS World Congress. I think if I see all of you sitting like this on these beautiful little chairs, I'm a little bit afraid that you may get some back pain. But we have a cure for that. And that cure starts now. I may ask all of you to stand up for a minute at least. Take a picture of this QR code and register for Thursday night for our startup party at the Mojo Club at the famous Reeperbahn, where we will do some dancing and dance the back pain away. So just scan it, sign up, and then in a minute We'll not talk about connected cars, connected trains, connected containers, but about connected roads. Space is limited at the starter party, so sign up. We have free drinks, we have free music, we have free startups, we have free ITS professionals, so we're looking forward to see you there. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming startups that are now going to pitch. I'm curiously looking to my colleague, Annabelle. Are we ready to continue? Yes, thumbs up. I already said, in mobility and intelligent transport system, there's lots of talk about connected cars, connected vehicles. The next startup is called Connected Roads. So I'm very curious to hear what Connected Roads will have to tell us in the next 3 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jannis Köstermann, and together with Henrik Hoppmann, I have founded Connected Road. Connected Road is a startup inside a corporate, and we are funded by the Volkswagen Innovation Fund 2. Our goal is to digitalize traffic infrastructure. We have seen that cars have turned into computers on wheels, full of sensors, cameras, and connectivity. But the infrastructure that these very cars are moving in often still looks like 70 years ago. Now, why is that a major problem? Because we are at a critical junction right now. The number of car accidents is already incredibly high, but in the near future, we will see more and more assisted or even autonomous vehicles on the roads. And that means shifting responsibility from drivers to manufacturers. With smarter infrastructure, we can already reduce the number of accidents today, but we can also pave the road for autonomous vehicles of tomorrow. Now, how are we doing that? We do not need to invent a new technology. We are using Car2X because there are already hundreds of thousands of Car2X users on the road in Europe. And if we can put a Car2X module into all of these cars, we can also put a Car2X module on top of road signs, e-scooters, and whatnot at a reasonable price. And we are developing this module. Our first product group is already in the pilot phase. We equipped traffic flashlights with a Car2X module, and if a driver is approaching a crash site where this traffic flashlight is positioned, the driver will be alerted early and even without direct line of sight. And we are also equipping emergency vehicles. Again, if an emergency vehicle is on crossing routes with a passenger vehicle, the driver will be alerted, and he can even see from where the emergency vehicle is approaching. That helps to prevent accidents, and it also helps to clear a corridor for the rescue team. For all of that, we do not need special complex test vehicles. We are working with production vehicles, and we are no longer planning or researching, we are already testing right now. And in the last 2 years, we formed a great team, but we also started working with specialized companies where we received great support, not only on the project level, but also on personal level up to the highest managing ranks. Now, more and more partners are coming on board, fire brigades, insurance companies, manufacturers, just to mention a few. And if you would like to retrofit your product with our module, or if you're interested in working with us in any other way, then please come talk to us at our booth over there in the middle. Thank you very much.
So, Jannis, thanks a lot for the interesting speech. So my first question is, which communication standard do you use for the Car2X communication?
That's Wi-Fi, automotive Wi-Fi, WLAN-P, as we say in German, or ETCG5, so direct local point-to-point communication.
Okay, thanks a lot. My colleagues?
Yeah, nice presentation. Maybe you already told it, but so what is needed to make the city or the streets of Germany safe?
In our case, all that is needed is a small module, which you can put basically everywhere. We are starting with this use case and put it on fire brigades, rescue vehicles, or these flashlights, because that is a use case which is already understood by current production cars. But for the future, there are many more use cases which can be made possible with such a module, because it's very versatile. So if we come up with further use cases, not only safety, but maybe also comfort, like parking, we do not want to reinvent the module every time, we want to reuse it.
So you could also give it to the authorities so they can get a signal too, so there's an accident, so you don't have to call and save time.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, thank you.
So do you have a further question? Or maybe one question from the audience? Please?
What is the price of the module?
Pardon me? The price? Oh, I can't give you an exact number right now, but because we are looking into learning from how we put it into the cars, we are looking at larger numbers and scalability effects, so that we are hoping that we can reduce the prices of these modules drastically from what we see today, where they are more in a state of test equipment. So at the moment you can already acquire Car2X modules, but they are way too expensive to put them into such a product, and that's the tackle that we are taking.
Good, thanks a lot, great speech.
Thanks for having us.
And applause please from the audience.
Thank you, Jannis. Simon, that's actually a very good idea you had there. Questions from the audience. So whenever you feel like asking a question, just point your finger at Simon. Having said that, I think all startups are doing great in keeping us enthusiastic by sticking to the 3 minutes, really. There hasn't been a startup that has broken that rule, and I think the next one will also not do it because they carry the 3 in their name. D3 Technologies, Binish, welcome to the stage, and looking forward to your 3 minutes.
All right, let's hope we stick to it. Flying started as a dream, ripe with possibilities of what going through city skies would mean for humanity and progress. Then it became an adventure. Slowly, a luxury for those who could afford it. Today, however, flying is simply a commodity. But think about it. We don't want flying in our city skies to be a luxury or an adventure. We want it to be safe, and we want it to be accessible, because we believe everyone should be able to fly, whenever and wherever. But flying, as we know today, will not be the same in the near future. Today, it requires a lot of human interaction between the pilot and the controller, and we have seen a shift towards automation since the 1950s in aviation, when we took out the number of people needed in an airplane to actually fly it. But flying in our complex city skies will be highly automated. And while that does have its benefits, few pilots, lower costs, it also requires infrastructure. The visible one, like vertiports or airports, and the invisible one, like the roads, rules, and signs in the sky, the air traffic control. And that is what we at D3 are building. A platform that connects smart vehicles to an intelligent infrastructure, managing highly automated air traffic in our urban skies. And why are we the right team to do it? Well, our founding team alone brings in over 50 years of experience in aviation, building complex avionics systems. So not only do we have the expertise to build a safety-critical system, we have the passion to back it and make it accessible for everyone. But of course, this grandiose vision is a bit too much for just one company to tackle on its own. So we partner with other technology firms, as well as cities and metropolitan regions who aim to build an advanced air mobility ecosystem, as well as with air vehicle manufacturers. So engage with our vision, partner with us, visit us at our stall, and help us build safe roads in the skies. Thank you.
So, Binish, thanks a lot for your inspiring speech. So, did I got it right that you would make air traffic controllers unemployed on the long run?
Well, sort of, but we would also hope that there are, because cities are involved, that there are reintegration programs for air traffic controllers. But within air traffic control, I think aviation, they will always have a space, at least within the next 10 years. Also, it's a bit foolish to assume that in the next 5 years we would completely take them out. It will be a process that will continue till 2030, and then by then it will scale. But we believe, yes, automation will be the only way that this will become a commercial, feasible operation.
Okay, but I definitely wish you a high market share in the future.
We hope so too.
Yeah. My colleagues?
Yes, great presentation. How about the regulation? Because once you made the safe roads in the sky, who's going to regulate it, and what are your boundaries there, and how can you solve it? So I think that's your main issue.
Right, so of course, depending on which regulation you look at, FAA versus EASA, they all have at least the use-based regulation for drone operations in the skies. And we assume, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, after air vehicle manufacturers like Volocopter, Lilium, they certify their vehicles, which are eVTOLs, that slowly operations will also get certified. But yes, it will take time, and it will be an iterative process with which we will slowly take out the pilot. So first it will be remotely piloted, so we would reduce the number of people needed to control an air vehicle, and then eventually through simplified vehicle operations we'll go on to automated ones, and by then there will be regulation for that too.
So, super. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you.
For the great speech and discussion, and applause please from the audience.
Thank you, Binish. So the next startup comes from a place or a city which just exchanged their chancellor. Thanks God, Markus from IoT Baseplate didn't change anything in coming here to Hamburg. Give a warm applause from Vienna, Markus with his IoT Baseplate. The 3 minutes are yours.
Works? Yeah. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I would like to introduce you to IoT Baseplate, which is not this stuff. But actually, what's our mission? Road traffic digitization is everywhere. So actually what we need, or what we want to provide, is more digital data for important events, especially temporary. So there is a lot of data going on. And actually what is important is that we are providing quality data. So what is actually the way of doing that? You can have a lot of systems which are doing this, which have island solution, which is providing data A, B, C, D. So what is actually our idea is doing IoT Baseplate. Everyone knows this. So what about doing a stackable solution, but just adding data on top of this? Okay, one Baseplate, which is actually everywhere around. Construction sites, cities, and so on. So that's actually our aim, to provide enough data to improve safety, efficiency, with one modular system, which is always the same. So we are actually adding sensors from the market. We are adding CPU, we are adding connectivity. And based on the use case, actually this K1 Baseplate can be modularly configured in order to improve the situation on site. So what can be actually done with it? It's basically usable for digitalization of construction site. It's being able to integrate actors like LEDs to provide safety critical information. It can be used to do temporary traffic analysis, especially in events when I need it, yeah? For 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, and so on. And everything is modular, so that means everyone is having such things in stock and can actually add functionality to this K1 faceplate, which is known already on site. So that's us. I think I will skip that because I don't have too much time on that. So we're already working with partners. We're in the prototype phase. We have agreed pilot projects with cities, with construction companies, especially in Austria. We're also working with German companies who know how things are going on the construction, which models are working on the construction. So actually that's our aim, to improve the situation and to provide quality pilot projects with this K1 baseplate. So our aim is actually to provide functionality for Europe, especially Austria, Germany, Switzerland. And yeah, actually, we are already here. So we founded our company in March, and we made it up to the ITS World Congress. So that's actually check. So let's talk more. We have versatile use cases. Please meet us at the stage on the booth B22. Thank you for joining.
So thanks a lot, Marcus. And you have the first question.
Very much. Can you explain a little bit more about the output of your platform? Because what we just heard from Connected Road are quite doing the same. So what is the output of your platform?
The output?
Yeah.
So actually the output is data.
And what do you want to do with the data?
And data is to be qualified data, not just raw data. So at the end, our customer wants to know about what is the traffic situation, if they block roads, if they have a construction site. What is actually, where is the construction site? When does it start and stop? So there's a lot of data which is currently not existable. So that's exactly which is provided by IoT Baseplate.
Okay, then I will just continue. Nice presentation, really interesting product. What is the price of the production of one item like that currently?
So we are not in the scaling phase, so we're doing pilot projects at the moment. So you see it's a prototype. So basically we have different configurations. One is a very simple one, which use on construction site, so it can be not much cheaper than this K1 baseplate. Or on the other hand, we are doing traffic analysis data, which of course needs more high quality sensors. So the price is a bit different. But actually our business model is, our customers do have these baseplates. So we're just using stackable models, and we just provide the information, not need to buying the IoT functionality. So it's a service-based model actually.
All right, perfect. Good, thanks a lot. Do we have a brief question from the audience? No, not for now. So maybe a question from my side. Which communication standard do you use?
So between baseplates, we're using a low power ISM communication, because if you talk about temporary systems, of course we are a retrofit system, so we don't have power. We need to sustain a long period, so we're using low power protocols. And to the backend, we are open interface, so that means we don't have our own system, our own cloud, so we are providing data to backend system, either if it's LoRa, if it's narrowband IoT, it's just modular, yeah?
Good. Thanks a lot for the interesting contribution. And applause, please, for Marcus.
Thank you.
And I give the word to Johannes.
Thank you, Marcus. A quick word to the audience watching us from around the world, Germany, Europe, wherever. I hope you're still with us. It's a good program, isn't it? No advertising blocks on TV, just one startup after another. So keep with us. We are not done yet, because data, roads, data analytics, you need a lot of intelligence, and maybe you need a little bit of artificial intelligence to look at our roads. Ronnie from Roads.AI is next up on stage and telling us in 3 minutes what they are doing. Ronnie, the floor is yours.
Hi. Hello everyone, thank you, it's exciting to be here. For over a century, we have built and designed our entire driving ecosystem around our superior human intelligence and our unique ability to socially interact. Now, if we want to wake up in the morning, get into a vehicle and ask it to take us to the office without driving it, this is already solved. We can take a taxi. Automation is not about creating personal and private space for commuters. It is about improving the network performance. But robots, they don't know how to mingle, and they do not know how to negotiate with human drivers. Take merging, for example. It is considered one of the most complex driving tasks. Why do we drive in the middle lane? Why don't we, would it be better if we move to the left lane and clear the lane for a merging truck? Would it be better if we drive 85 instead of 75? We don't really know. Our context awareness, our understanding of the unfolding driving situation is limited. We are practically guessing. When we are driving, we drive in a see and avoid concept. We build our self-awareness, which is basically trying to avoid a collision, and this is where level 2 ADAS is really helpful. But since our context awareness is limited, our driving decisions are suboptimal. Now, what happens when you take the human out of the loop? Who takes responsibilities over the tasks in the driving process? The common approach is it's the vehicle. It's the OEM taking the entire responsibility for the entire driving task. But the fundamental problem remains the same. Human or robot, the vehicle context awareness is limited and the driving decisions are suboptimal for the network performance. We argue that a different distribution of responsibility is needed. We argue that the infrastructure should step in. It can build better context awareness and generate optimal driving decisions. This will create immediate positive effect on the network performance, and it will be critical for the deployment of automated driving systems. Our first product, the ITGS, will be deployed at challenging points on the road network, and it will generate optimal driving decisions and will transmit those to specific vehicles. This will allow us to change the driving mode from see and avoid to intelligent guidance, and will allow for the paradigm shift from human drivers to automated driving system. This is infrastructure enabling autonomy. Thank you.
So perfectly on time. Thanks for your speech. So my question is, where is your system running? So will it be on the car, in a cloud, or in the infrastructure?
It is the infrastructure. It is an infrastructure-based system, and the idea is to consider the network needs, not the individual vehicle needs. Okay? So if you think about a challenging spot like a merging place, as I just pitched, you don't really know what is optimal. Not for you and not for everybody else around you. So the idea is to generate a collective perception of the situation and generate an optimal driving decision for the network.
So the brain of the infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay.
So the data is created, it's displayed for the driver, but it's not interfering how the driver actually reacts. So there's no connection between the car and your system, right? The driver can listen to it, but it doesn't have to.
Exactly. The entire concept is built on voluntary compliance. If you're in a hurry for a meeting, you will probably not a good user. But if you are a more stressful driver, or you are listening to a tune on the radio or on a phone call, just now I will take off your attention. I will help you. Just drive in 70 in the middle lane. More relaxed driving for you. Better for the network.
Okay, then one last question. Who's your target?
First step is the road operators, toll managers. Next step, it will be automated driving system fleet managers.
All right.
They will need this kind of guidance in order to deploy safely.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your speech.
Thank you a lot, Ronnie. Now, our senator tried to promote a little bit the Hamburg weather this morning. At the moment, it's an easy task. I think Pavlos is not here to promote the weather and sunshine in Cyprus, where he's coming from, but to promote Catalink. So, Pavlos, the next 3 minutes are yours. The floor welcomes you.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. So I will present you our solution, which is called IRIS. What's the problem we are dealing with? According to the World Health Organization, 1.3 million people lose their life on the road every year. Furthermore, 20 to 50 million people per year suffer from non-fatal injuries. The reason? Fatigue, distraction, aggressiveness. But what we can do about it? Use driver monitoring systems, which they are expected in the next years to have an increase in the market. So in Catalink, we have built IRIS, which is a cost-effective and unobtrusive smartphone solution tailored for all types of drivers that would like to assess and improve their driving performance, as well as to keep them alert during the driving sessions. Our solution, we have started at 2019, where we had our initial idea of having a GMS available to all types of vehicles and users, so we performed our market analysis. And in 2020, we have identified the end user and market requirements, and we have designed the architecture and the IRIS roadmap. So in 21, now we have our first prototype, we have our business plans, and we want to engage stakeholders. So IRIS is a driving monitoring system based on Android. By taking advantage of the driver's smartphone and smartwatch, we are monitoring drivers' behaviors, bringing the benefits of a DMS to all types of vehicles. Our competitive advantages: our solution is cost-effective, user-friendly, it does not distract the driver, it has prompt and accurate alerts, the decision-making is based on multi-sensory insights, and it can be used by anyone in all types of vehicles. Our business plan is twofold. For B2C, we plan to have our application uploaded on Google Play, and users can share their driving performance with their friends and have some gamification techniques in order to engage more usage. For B2B, it's going to work as a plugin, and it can be used for various services, such as for taxi services like Uber or for fleet management. Our promotion strategy, we have already created content for ads, videos, and podcasts. We promote our work through social media and emails. You can follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. We try to participate in various events such as this one. And we want to engage investors and have some direct sales. This is our team. We also have extra 7 people working on this project, and you can find us on booth 18. Thank you very much. If you have any questions.
So thanks a lot, Pavlos, for your speech.
Thank you.
So I'm interested in whether you consider your solution as some kind of a bridge technology. So when cars are driving around fully automated, is it necessary to track the attention of the driver?
Actually, for autonomous vehicles, we are not there yet to have the driver not to pay attention on the road. So there is a request to intervene for the driver. So these systems can be used in order to have the driver alert. So whenever there is a necessity for the driver to take the wheel, to inform them that you should do that.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. What's your difference or benefit compared to the presentation we had before? Because I think it was almost the same product or service.
It's most of it. It's that it's portable, so you can have it on your smartphone. So it's something that it's easier to install. You do not need any necessary installation equipment. Pretty much this one, I could say.
All right, thank you.
So do we have further questions from my jury colleague or also from our moderator or the audience?
Pavlos, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
So lunch is around the corner, I know, and there's one last startup before you, some cold drinks and lunch. At the moment, there are autumn school holidays in Hamburg. So traffic, I don't know if you have experienced it yesterday or today. Traffic is okay. There's not too much intelligent traffic management needed. Nonetheless, once the holiday is over, you find yourself in traffic jam, not only in Hamburg, but around the world. A company who wants to upgrade traffic management as a service is deeptraffic. And I welcome you to the stage to give us 3 minutes of hopefully no traffic or good traffic or optimized traffic. The floor is yours.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Evangelos Mitsakis. I'm CEO and co-founder of Deeptraffic. We are a group of 8 with both technical and business expertise in the traffic management domain, and we are also, all of us are affiliated with the National Center for Research and Technology in Greece, because the company is a spin-off company of CERT. Indeed, the problem that we want to solve is very easily understood. It's called traffic congestion. What is the opportunity? Currently, traffic management centers are resource intensive, are human intensive. They follow manual procedures. They require significant investments in terms of roadside equipment, and they also fail to exploit sufficiently large amounts of data. And in parallel, there is a whole wave of connected and automated mobility coming, and we want to couple those two. So what's our value proposition? It's a future-proof dynamic traffic management platform. And what we provide in addition to what is already in place is that we add operational automation and intelligence. We exploit connected and automated mobility for traffic management purposes. We support traffic management as a service. And we also exploit multi-source and connected vehicle data. Our software, our product is called deeptraffic 101. It is comprised of 4 main modules: a scenario manager, a dashboard, a geo-messaging platform, and an application for the driver. What we have done so far is that we have successfully completed 4 large-scale pilots in Greece. We are currently under commercial deployment in 2 cities in Greece. We're in contacts with a few cities in Europe and outside of Europe. And we also participate a lot in acceleration and business support programs. Our go-to-market strategy, initially we target, of course, to the Greek market because it's easier for us. Then we have a prioritized list of European countries. And our strategy is to have distributor channels, commercial partnerships, or direct sales. But we have already done, as I said before, we have won commercial contracts in Greece. Our revenue model, we are a B2G or a B2B2G company, so we sell our product either as a software license or software as a service or traffic management as a service, and of course any supporting activities that might be needed by our clients. Concerning the next 5 years, our target is to reach approximately 60 customers, with an average annual growth rate of more than 300%. And our goal is to achieve more than 6 million annual sales by the end of the 5th year, with an EBITDA of over 25% in year 4. Thank you very much.
So, thanks a lot for the interesting speech. So, when you are approaching customers, from which groups of customers do you believe these people come? So, municipalities, scientists, industry, or who is it?
Okay. Our target market is comprised of 2 main domains, let's say, or 2 groups. One is traffic management centers of cities. And cities are also divided in our business plan in larger cities, in smaller cities, in more innovative cities, in less innovative cities. There are differentiations. And the other large group is highways. Most of them are private, so it's a different target group for us. And we approach them also different.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. One strange question, what is actually the difference between other traffic operators, what you are doing right now, for your competition? What is making you the specialist on this one compared to your competitor?
Okay. One thing is that we couple operationally traffic management with connected vehicle technologies. So practically, whatever traffic management strategy is actually implemented in real time by our backend system or by an existing backend system, because we can interface with any traffic management center because we follow all the industrial standards, actually. We're able to communicate the actions of the traffic management strategies nowadays to connected vehicles, in a few years also to automated vehicles. So this is the largest differentiation. There are, of course, other intelligence and logic things, which I cannot easily mention to you. And of course, there is the issue of how we utilize data coming from connected vehicles as such.
So, thanks a lot. Also, with the Q&A session perfectly in time. Thanks for the final speech, and please applause for Evangelos. Thank you. Annabelle.
Thank you very much for this last pitch. I'm not going to pitch, I'm sorry. I just want to invite you again, while Simon is calculating which startup has won and which will be joining us again on Thursday. I just want to invite you again for our speed dating this afternoon. If you want to come get to know the startups one-on-one and ask more questions also to the other startups that are here in this area, be here at 2:30, and we will then have set up a few lounge areas, and we will provide some cards where you can skip the small talk and just come directly to the actual points that you want to talk about. We will just facilitate that for you. You have then always 10 minutes time to get to know the startup or whomever you are mixed with, and then you will switch to the next table. If you're interested in that, then be here on point at 2:30, and my colleague Eileen will then moderate this. Yeah, as I said, on Thursday, there will be the IT's Future Champion Contest. So throughout each of the pitch sessions that we are going to have during the week, we will select one winner, or the jury will, and this winner will then have to compete again on Thursday against the other three. And the final winner will then get a 3-month membership, either in the Digital Hub Logistics here in Hamburg or in the Digital Hub Mobility in Munich. They will be provided with a desk where they can work and actually be there physically, or if that's not possible for them, we will offer them a digital membership, connect them to people, to investors, to partners, to potential customers, and make sure that they can expand their network here in Germany as well. Maybe while Simon is still calculating, the other two jury members, do you want to tell me your impression of the startups today, how you like them, and yeah, what you thought of them?
Yes, thank you. It's always great to see and learn what new things, what innovative things are being developed and being introduced. I'm always surprised about things we haven't thought about, and why, I don't know, but it's great that people do, and people are making the time and making the efforts to make this change. So I'm really happy that there are so many startups, especially with the kind of quality of making the change. So I'm surprised and happily surprised by it. Thanks for this one.
Thank you. Shambo, thank you to you again. What was your impression? Did you like what you heard? What's your background? Did you take a view from a certain point of view, like the technical side or the investor side? Where did you put your focus on?
Well, my background is also logistics, shipping logistics. Now I'm in the last mile logistics. So it was really interesting to see a lot of startups coming here and finding a solution on the last mile. One thing I want to send to the startups here: don't take any critics we told you, and don't stop. It's just more reasons to focus and tackle them. It was really interesting to be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, you two, again, for being here. And now, Simon, it's time to announce who will be joining us again on Thursday and who's the winner of today's pitch.
So I'm happy to announce that the winner, so the first rank goes to the first speaker, to Florian Albert from AVES Reality. Florian, are you with us?
Congratulations, Florian. Are you excited to pitch again, or were you happy that it's over?
I will pitch again. Thanks for this opportunity. Yeah, of course, I'm excited to pitch again.
Yeah, congratulations again. You obviously convinced every one of us. But thanks a lot also. It was quite close. And thanks a lot also to all the other speakers for being with us, for the interesting presentation. And hope to see you soon again in the upcoming days.
All right. Enjoy your lunch break, everyone.